I looked at the messages you sent me, Mark, and I'd like a little bit of context. So, for example, you said you're a junior, college apps are coming up, and you wanted to have a conversation about school. Is there anything specific that you had in mind?
Yeah, so I've been talking to like a lot of my friends about this, and all of them are on this like set path to go to college. But on the other hand, I just like don't really feel like going to college at all. Like I'll probably still go, but what I really want to like do in life later on isn't like really involved with like it's more like on like a social media like side, like kind of what you're doing right now.
Yeah, 100%. There's a few things that that needs to be kept in mind. I need to know more context, right? So like, also I want this conversation to be extremely valuable to you. So the question is, where are you at school right now? Like, would you say you're a good student? Is this something that has always been on your mind?
Yeah, I would say I'm a pretty good student. I take like a lot of AP classes. My parents like enforce like a lot of education on me
Right.
because I'm Asian.
Yeah.
And then I feel like this has been on my mind for like quite a bit now. Like back when I was a sophomore in high school, I was already like starting to think about like, damn, I don't really like want to go to college. I want to like, in my case, I want to become like a game developer, and that doesn't like really involve like going to college.
Cool. And
I'll
my
probably still go.
Yes. And Mark, two questions, right? You probably still will go. And there's also a list of things you said you wanted to do, like social media or become a game developer. Have you already started on like developing those skills?
Yes, I started. Was it this summer? Yes, I started this summer, and then I've just been kind of like doing my own thing. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I feel like I would
Doing what
enjoy it a lot.
specifically?
Like creating like game art, making the code for it, like making like the pieces of the game. Yeah.
And you said social media, game dev. I think this is very important to understand. If you are going to drop out and like you're going on your path, I think people always forget is that you are on your own time, right? So, for example, there's a lot of people who enter summer, and from your experience or maybe others, everything falls apart, right? Because you go to school, everything's structured, parents tell you what to do, you have after school classes, maybe you do sports. So everything is literally structured for your life by the hour. And when it's time for breaks, spring break, winter break, summer, those big breaks, it really tells you what you do as a person when there is no set schedule for you. Does that make sense? So that's why I ask, because I'm someone who did drop out. At the same time, I also was a private tutor and also a college tutor. And I only say this because it's good that you're considering it, but there's also a lot of people who do it and make a mistake because they don't even know their own levels of discipline. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I have a friend who took a gap year like during college, and then like afterwards, he was like trying to start a clothing brand, but like it never succeeded because like he kind of just like gave up halfway through.
Yes. There's a lot of psychological traps people fall into when dropping out of college, right? Because their assumption is that I need to make this big decision. And after they make the big decision of dropping out of college, all the momentum disappears. So I know a lot of people who did drop out of college. It looks like you want to say something. Tell me, Mark.
No, no, you're good. You can continue.
No, just a lot of people that do drop out of college, they only do it for the social bragging rights. It's very antisocial to drop out. So there's a stigma around it where you're seen as a much more different person. I wouldn't say it's a good or bad thing. It's how you interpret it. But my question to you is, you mentioned Asian parents. Is there a pressure them you having to go to school? Because I might have some, personal experience input that might help you.
Um, yeah, obviously they want me to go to college. I wouldn't say like growing up, they weren't like really that strict on me. Like they wouldn't beat me. They wouldn't like do anything like maybe they would like take away my video games if I like got bad grades, but like mostly that's it. And then they don't really want me to like get into like a good school either.
Really?
There's this like local college like near where I live, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like pretty good. So I think that's like where they want me to go.
So this is important to ask because it depends on the person, Mark. So I don't know where your head is at. I talked to some YouTubers where for them they dropped out or they didn't apply to school at all. They just went straight to YouTube immediately because they don't care about what their parents think. They don't really care about what other people think. And I mentioned this because that's the big thing that holds people back from making a decision. It's what their peers think, what their family thinks. So, how would they react? And would you actually care if you decided not to go? You told me you probably will go. So, where's your head at?
Um, so when I said that I would probably still go to college, it's because recently, like at my school, there's been like a lot of like public speakers. Like there was this like one person who was like a part of like a health department, and then she was like talking a lot about how like college has like a lot of benefits. It gives you like a lot of opportunities. So like mainly that's why want to go. But if I did not go, I don't think I would care too much about like what others like thought about me from that.
Okay, cool. So, that's even better. We're getting to somewhere more narrow that can be tangible. So it gives you opportunities. My big question is, what are the opportunities you want, right? So this is going to be very difficult, but like, what's the thing that you want to climb to towards like the middle ages of your life, like 20s, 30s, 40s? Where do you want to end up? And will going to college give you those opportunities to get there faster?
Um, I'm not really sure, but I'll probably like once I get into college, like I'm probably going to major in either CS and business or CS and biology. So I'll just see like what opportunities I can like find and then probably like jump on the first one that I get. But like otherwise, that's like basically it.
Okay. And is this something you're passionate about? Because I do know you said you started just coding or like beginning to code
Yeah.
last summer or this summer.
Well, more into like game dev, but
Right. Right. And is it
I've
fun for
taken
you?
like yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And what's the main goal with that, right? You want to do code or excuse me, your major will be something related towards CS and you also like game dev. Did you want to make your own game? Did you want to work for like a large company that does games? Is gaming even something you're interested in or is something you're like hobbying right now?
Yeah. Like I would say gaming is like one of my like main hobbies. Also do like sports too, but that's like one of them. And then yeah, what I want to do is like I want to make my own game. I've like heard that you can like work at like bigger like game companies. I'm fine with that too, but I've heard that it's like a lot more like restricting towards your like freedoms and what you can do.
Yeah, because here's the truth, okay? A lot of people who go into gaming, it's out of expression, right? So, for example, YouTube, I'm expressing myself through editing, through talking. The same thing applies to a lot of other entrepreneurial things. So, for example, if someone is doing their own thing, they have control, so they're expressing themselves. So, if I'm starting my own business, that itself is an expression of who they are. So, I make a own business about food, maybe a clothing brand. Clothing, for example, and fashion, what you choose to wear is how you choose to express yourself. And if your goal is to show who you are, it's never going to happen if you're working for someone else because you're not working for your own expression, you are working for other people's expression. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yes.
and
So
that's like one of the.
go ahead, Mark.
Should I go first?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like one of the main reasons like why I want to like create my own games because like I have a lot of like ideas that I want to like put out like through like games, you know.
Okay. So it's good that you know that. And now's the difficult part. You literally have to decide like this is the stage of your life where you're going to decide and shift towards the path that makes the most sense. And sometimes people make mistakes. So there's like midlife crises. They realize that they have to course correct. So the question is, there are a few options, right? Working at like this large, let's say you get good at video games. Let's say everything happens where you develop the skill. You're a valued employee. The worst case scenario is that you end up in a large company where you're working for this like big AAA game, 2,000 employees. You are not able to express yourself, right? Now, there's two other options. You work for like an indie thing going on. And by the way, stop me if game dev or anything I'm talking about becomes no longer interesting for you. But you work for like a small time company, indie team, and there you're also able to express yourself. Or you do everything by yourself where you create your own indie game and you keep all the profits. You do everything yourself where everyone could be working for you and they're trying to build for your own work. Like the indie game or by yourself. What is more appealing for you?
Um, I feel like working like in like a team might be better because I like to talk to other people. But like, at the same time, I feel like it could be kind of restricting because like there's bound to be like conflicts with like other people or like ideas just don't like fit together.
Yeah.
So I guess that's like something I would like see with like more experience though.
Yes. And by the way, everything I mentioned so far, my question to you is, how does college actually help you get there?
I would say that college is like more of a safety net for me because like doing like social media stuff like game dev, it's like I feel like not a lot of people succeed in it. So like just in case that I don't succeed, I can like use college as like another way to like get a job.
Yeah, perfect. So I'll give you an example, Mark, of a thinking framework, a logical framework in terms of how to get what you want, right? This is something people fixate too much on. So for example, people fixate too much on the future and success. So our conversation is best case scenario, you have the skill that you have, which is game dev, the skill that you're working towards. You're very good at it. And there's also the second phase to the logical thinking framework where it's also, you have to think of worst case scenario. All right. So worst case scenario, Mark, it's Mark, right?
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, Mark, you don't go to college. Okay. You still have a place to stay. Your parents will still take care of you food wise. And let's say you skip 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, they're still going to cover for the majority of your expenses. You could work at some low end job just enough to sustain yourself to work towards your career. And by the way, we're thinking of worst case scenario where you fail for 3 years straight. By the end of it, my question to you is, do you think you would be a better game developer skill wise, not going to college or going to college?
I think that I would probably be better by going to college because like living with like my parents like by myself in my own home, it's like somewhat like isolating because I wouldn't be able to like talk to other people. Because like on a college campus, I'll be able to like join clubs, like talk to
Yes.
friends and stuff.
Yes.
And I feel like a long time like lack of exposure to other people, I'll like kind of like decay like mentally.
By the way, I'm glad you mentioned that, Mark, like the social aspects of needing to succeed. Where did that come from?
Um, it's like a little bit of yap. Is that fine?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we're here, bro.
Yeah, so I got it from back when I was a freshman, I joined my school's tennis team, and
Okay.
then through like that way, like team spirit and like talking to all the players in the team, I realized that like being like social to other people is like a big part of like my own life. Like I like talking to other people and like getting to know them and like just like hanging out.
Okay. So it's very complex in terms of like social aspects in humanity, right? We're going to expand this conversation into less actionable things, tangible in real life, and more open. So here's the thing. Okay, Mark, you value socialness, and I'd want to know where you align because emotionally, socially, when you feel like you're not at your best or you're unsure of a decision, I'm assuming you would go to other people to make you feel better, reaffirm your decisions.
Yeah.
Perfect. Could you give me like a moment that helps like paint myself a picture where that would happen?
Um. Yeah. Recently, I was also messaging you about this too. There's this like girl that I like in my school. It's not like I'm like bad at talking to girls. I talk to girls all the time.
Yeah.
But specifically, I'm like kind of scared because it sounds kind of corny, but like she holds like a really special place in my heart. But um, like a like big event in our school is like coming up. Um, and I wanted to like ask her out to that. But so like I asked my friends first, like what's the best way to do it? Like what should I do? Like stuff like that. So like that's a pretty good example of me like asking my friends for like advice on like what I should do with my
Perfect.
um yeah decisions.
Yeah. And by the way, Mark, this is a very normal thing that like everyone experiences, right? So there's no shame in that. My question to you is, are your friends good at talking to girls, or are you just asking because like I'm gonna ask just in case?
I would say that like we're all like on the what's the word for it like Rizzy side.
Okay. Okay.
Like we can all like Riz pretty well. Like almost all my friends have had like a girlfriend before. Like
Yeah.
me too. And then yeah, we're all like pretty like experienced.
Okay. Perfect. So I'll tell you one thing, Mark. Okay, this is a very easy trap you can fall into, which is just listening to what the group says. This is not a bad way of making decisions because think about it realistically. If you're going to make a big decision, you want everyone to make the same one because if you fail, everyone else also fails. So everyone's looking out for each other. This is why when there's like a big test, you do bad, or maybe you do good, you're asking everyone else for the test. Because here's the thing, the result already happened. It's not going to change anything knowing what other people get, but actually might socially in our brain. Because if I got a bad score, everyone else gets a bad score, I am not socially outcasted. If everyone else gets a bad score, maybe the teacher will round up our grade, right? So there's this social programming where we want to know what other people do before we do things. And the older you get, the bigger you realize that is a mistake, Mark. And I really mean that because it's your life. So this is more of the less tangible, but you have to realize, Mark, when you wake up, it's just you. When you were born, it's just you. And when you die, everything you experience is not with other people, it's just you. And it's a big mistake because when you ask people what to do, they'll give you general advice, but they won't actually look out for you because everything day to day, everyone is living in their own bodies. So everyone is trying to do the best for themselves. So for example, what if I want, or if that's the case, why do people do good? Well, the reason why we do good is because it makes us feel good. We're not doing it for the sake of other people. We're doing it because of what it makes us feel at the end. I'm a good person. That's why I gave food to the homeless person. It makes me feel good. And when you're constantly asking advice from other people, it's good short term, but long term, it leads you astray. So I think that's very important to recognize. And anything you want to say before I continue, Mark?
So what you were just saying is that like by ask like over asking for like advice, I'll like over fixate on what they'll like tell me to do that I won't do for
Yes.
myself.
Yes. So think of it like this, Mark. There's a lot of people who struggle with, let's say, making a big decision, asking that girl, not going to college, going to college, and a big mistake, which technically is what you're doing right now, but I think this is a little bit different. You came to a good source. They're always asking other people what to do, but those other people are not actually going to help you because guess what, Mark? I'm someone who didn't go to college, so I'm going to lean towards not going to college. But at the same time, if you ask your parents, your teachers, every single student, what are they going to say? They're going to say, go to college. And it's not because they're actually considering what you do. They're just considering what they did or what they should have done, right? There's a lot of biases in listening to what other people say. So it's actually not going to help you. And I say this because when it comes to actually going far in life, it's up to your own interpretation. So I mentioned this in a podcast that will be coming out soon. But for developing a skill, it's on the Patreon. There's like a skill development video out there on the Patreon. And it's quite simple. You just replicate and copy everything to a point where you know the rules, you know what you should do, and then you iterate upon it by yourself. So for example, every single person who knows how to play basketball follows the same rules. So that's where they're copying and replicating everyone else. They have the same moves, they shoot in the same basket, but at a certain point, if you want to get to the top 1%, you don't copy other people. You have to analyze what you are personally good at and decide where you should go yourself, right? Differently, if we talk about science, a lot of people who study, who are very good at memorizing, that is great. That is good for them. There are competitions where you can memorize people who memorize 600 numbers. They're given 600 brand new numbers and they're memorizing on the spot. You can be really good at memorizing. But at a certain point, you have to realize you have to decide for yourself. So Albert Einstein, he didn't become so innovative, so amazing because he was studying so much. He knew so many fun facts. Everyone can do that. What he did was he pretty much walked every day and let ideas come to him where he thought for himself. Isaac Newton sat on a tree, saw an apple fall down. You don't get that from a book. He came to that himself. Other stories of people having dreams, they learn about how I think the atom is like the structure of an atom. The big stuff that comes in life, your big decisions, your big ideas aren't from other people. They're distractions. It comes from yourself. Right? Any questions before I move forward?
No, I don't have any.
Right, but does it make sense to you?
Yeah, it does make sense. Like, you gotta like decide what you gotta decide like based off of like what you think is best for yourself.
Exactly, because I'm not saying they have an agenda. I'm not saying their agenda is bad for you, the people who go to college or the people who tell you all the opportunities of college. But remember, they're getting paid by colleges to say that, right? And that doesn't mean what they're saying is bad. It's just realizing why they're saying it. So it's already fundamentally biased. Because let's say I was a person who's getting paid by anti-college, telling you all the opportunities to not go to college, and it completely expands your view. But that doesn't happen in school. Everyone's encouraged to go to school. There's a larger, grander problem we could talk about, but I don't think that would be beneficial towards you. And now, we are at two crossroads, Mark. Crush with a girl, going to college. Which would you rather talk about right now?
I feel like I have the girl situation like on lock right now.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like a side thing that I brought up, just like
No.
more into
No,
it.
it's all good, bro. What's the unlock? What's the plan? Tell me about it.
Like I'm gonna just like she plays tennis too, so
Nice.
I'll probably like ask her to play in a couple of doubles.
Yeah. I play tennis too.
Yeah, in a couple of like doubles tournaments with her.
Yeah.
And then maybe like try and play with her in states, and then I'll also ask her out to like the school event.
Okay, so what's the timeline with that, by the way? So give me context with how long you guys have known each other, what the situation is. Are you guys friendly, don't know each other? And then also how long it's going to take for like the doubles thing till when you ask the date.
I guess I've known her since like elementary school.
Okay.
We didn't know each other like that well till like middle school. And
Okay.
we went to the same place to like practice like not in school but like outside of school for like extracurriculars.
Okay.
And then
So you guys went to the same place. Did you guys interact at all?
Yeah, yeah, we talked. I've played against her before. She's played against me,
Okay.
and I think I talked to her like a lot more like last summer. But like during the school year, there's like it's been like one big issue, and it's that I don't have any classes with her, and
Yeah.
I don't like really have like a way to like meet up in school.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. 100%. And the timeline, okay? So this is very normal, right? A lot of people, most of their life is determined by environment, right? A lot of people don't think about this. This is more like adulting stuff, but opportunities is not like what college you go to, but really where you are. So if you're in a poor situation, if you're in a third world country, it is significantly more difficult to find higher value quality people. And small little representation of school itself, you're not in the right classes, you're surrounded by the bad people, you won't get what you want. Cool. So what's the timeline? You said you want to play doubles and then ask the person out. Like, will that take 2 weeks, 1 week,
Um,
months?
like a couple of months, yeah. Oh, um, yeah, a couple of months
Why months and not weeks? That's my question.
because like the school event isn't till like later, and then I don't know about you. I don't know if you've like played sports before, but
Okay.
I really,
Yeah, go ahead.
I really don't like playing in tournaments a lot. He's like it's a lot of pressure, and like I can at most play like one a week. That's it.
What do you mean, practice or like tournaments?
Like in tournaments because
Okay.
I haven't been playing a lot recently, and then she hasn't been either. But
Right.
like tournament wise, I don't know if she likes playing like tennis that much. But personally, like for myself, at most I could probably only play like one like every 2 weeks. So that's why it's gonna like take a couple of months.
Okay. So, Mark, if you were going to watch this back, there's a few things I will have to say. Okay. Number one, love comes fast. It could come as fast as 2 weeks, right? Maybe you've experienced it. Maybe you've seen your boys or other girls, they fall in love with someone extremely quickly. That can happen just as fast as you two, as it will happen for them with other people. Okay. So, like, if you actually gave a fuck, you wouldn't be planning it out in months. So, this is like a mistake people do that end up in friend zones, or they're too scared to make a decision. They separate it for a longer amount of time so they can move more slowly, so they can feel more comfortable. But that applies to everything. That doesn't apply to just love, but the same idea with people who decide to go to college but still want to drop out. They slowly inch their way towards not going to college, and because of that, they don't do good in school. They still have to have the investment. What I'm saying is sometimes people make decisions too quickly, right? We're talking about college, but it can also apply in business, in not just romantic relationships, but real life relationships where people are too scared to communicate. Like, bro, your shirt looks like shit, but you're trying to be a good guy. You can't say it. A lot of inhibition going on. So months is too long. That's number one, okay? And number two, I did 5 sports in high school. Did tennis, wrestling, track, cross country, golf as well. This is a good thing because you're in high school. You won't be able, most of the time, go to actual sporting events ever where like you're competing in them. And you said yourself that you don't like doing the tournaments. That just means, Mark, this is your time to actually do more tournaments. That's the only time you should do more. And by the way, I did 5 sports. I think like 2 or 3 of them were varsity. I'm not good at sports. The only reason why I chose to do sports was because I wasn't good at them, number one. And then number two, I wanted to learn more about other people, right? So I talked about environment where I am just in AP classes talking to a bunch of like AP smart kids. They're kind of losers. And I want to experience more of what like school has to offer. I don't want to be just in this small little environment bubble where I only have one perspective. That's why I chose sports, right? You meet a completely different group of people doing golf, because all rich white kids, and then you meet a completely different group of people doing wrestling because they're all overweight, like football guys. Imagine those 2 people or 2 groups of people in a room. It's weird. Does it make sense? That's why I wanted to experience so I can learn more from how other people think. So you should definitely do more tournaments, right? If you don't like it, you should do it, especially if it only benefits you, right? So you say you get nervous going to a tournament or there's a lot of pressure going on. Don't you think that's like an important skill to have, to be like ice cold?
Yeah, honestly, I was just kind of saying like whatever I wanted to say there.
All
Like
good?
I used to feel like a lot of pressure in tournaments, but now not so much. And like another like big reason why I like don't like tournaments so much is like it takes up like a lot of time. Like I
Yeah.
can like play one tournament and then like my whole day goes by.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
did nothing but play tennis.
So,
And then
so I'm gonna pause you right there because there's a lot to talk about with like the time aspect. Two questions. What are you doing other than the tournament that would be like better than not being there? And number two, this is for the people watching and you yourself. When you get older, okay, this is usually the life path people take where they have a wife. So imagine you having a girlfriend right now. She's gonna eat up a lot of your time. And then imagine also having kids. And then imagine juggling everything you're doing right now, where you're a husband, a father, you have to have and go to your job, you have to include all your hobbies. The older you get, the more stuff you're going to have to do. This doesn't mean people are overworked and stressed. It means they're better at managing their time. When you're a kid, you did jack shit every day. And then now that you're growing up, you're doing more things. And kid you can't even fathom that you could be doing all those things. So, recap, what are you doing rather than going to the tournaments? Because it does depend.
yeah, so I guess I would just probably be either working on like my game development or I would be studying for like a test that I would have like in school like the following like few days. Like working on schoolwork too. He's like all my like classes like give like a shitload of homework.
Yes. So you just spend the time to catch up on homework. But question to you is, you don't you to me told me that like you're not even fully interested in going to college. Also, Kento, you
My
don't know this,
parents
but
like
I
although
am
like they
a
don't like care
college
that much
tutor,
like
private
about my
tutor
grades
for
and
months.
stuff, they do care a little bit about my like GPA. So like on like some of my like harder classes, I'm like kind of required to like do the homework so that my grade doesn't like drop too low
Yes.
that it like affects my GPA that much.
Yes. So from my conversation I got from this, you probably are going to college. Are you going to a community college right away or university?
Probably university, yeah.
Okay. So, by the way, this is from my experience, Mark. If you're kind of like, so in your head, where are you at with college? Is it something you're interested in?
Oh, definitely. It's something that I'm somewhat interested in because I said earlier there's like a lot of public speakers that came to like our school and then they hyped up college by like a lot.
Yes.
And
What did
then
they say, by the way? We never got to that.
so there's like this one woman, she was like I kind of forgot what position she was in, but she was like at a government level.
Yeah.
And then
By the way, I
she
forgot. I'm
talked a
literally
lot about
qualified to talk about
how
this to a kid.
college and the experiences that she had in college led her to like reach her goals in that sense. But
Okay.
what I want to do with college is like I want to like gain new experiences and then use that experiences like in case like my game development fails, then I'll use that to like get a pretty good job.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So that's good. So remember our conversation earlier with how like those people are incentivized to tell you. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just trying to broaden your perspective because no one else will tell you this. But you could do the exact same thing, not going to college, right? And you also told me about the social aspect of you want other people or you want to be surrounded by other people who are going to be there with you, who does the same hobbies. You might find them, you might not find them at college, but realistically, you don't need a large group of people. So this is something people don't realize, but over time, the older you get, the smaller your circle becomes, okay? And there's a study where at a certain age, most of your friends, or excuse me, time spent is with your parents. And then the older you get, you spend less time with parents, you spend more time with friends. And then the older you get, again, you start to spend less time with friends, less time with parents, but more time with your significant other. And then it flips again to, it's a good balance between wife and kids. I say this because even in business, there's like the right-hand guy. In real life, it's not a large group of people that helps you in real life. It's really only one person. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. So like, what are you actively seeking for in your friendships? As in you want to go to college to meet people who does game dev. What would they help you with that you can't do yourself?
A large, I might be a bit off topic here, but like a large bottleneck in like what I do in like my game development is like artwork. I'm like looking kind of like shit at making art, so it takes me like a long time to make a piece that I'm like satisfied with.
So are you looking for a mentor? Is that what you're looking for?
I guess more of like an artist, and then I would also be seeking out a mentor too. Yeah.
Okay. So a few things, right? Like looking for a mentor is completely different than like just having a group of friends with the same interest, right? And like I think this is a big problem people make where you're a little bit like indecisive of what you want. You're considering not going to college, but to me, I don't think there's a reason why you're thinking that. Like where does that idea even come from initially?
Because like currently as I am like in high school, I really don't like have like that much. I would say like I spend like a lot of time. I waste a lot of time, and then also schoolwork takes up a lot of time as well. It's like every day after I come home from school,
Yeah.
I have like a shitload of homework to finish.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
even after this, I have to finish a little bit more homework too.
Yeah, yeah.
But that eats up like a lot of my time, and then
Yes.
in the end, I only have like around like 30 to like 1 hour to like work on the stuff that I actually want to work on.
Right. Which is game dev.
Yeah.
Right. And you want game dev because you don't want the money, but it's more of like expression of who you want to be or like showing who you are as a person.
I also want to get rich from it too, but that's like more of like a side dream. Yeah.
What do you mean? So game
Like,
dev or
it
money
would be
first?
nice. Probably dreams first. Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry. Give me a second. There's someone who commented in chat. I'm just gonna ban him real quick, distracting us. Okay. Say that one more time.
I would probably like go for my dreams first, then for money.
Okay. Is there a reason?
I feel like yeah, like my family and like where I am like economically, like my family, I say like we're pretty like
Well off.
economically like
Right.
stable. So
Okay.
money isn't like that much of a problem. Yeah.
Okay. So if money isn't the problem, but your main deciding factor is to go to college because you want a safe financial job, does that make sense to you?
Not really, but I haven't like thought about it like that much, but
Right. This is why we're talking about it, of course. So there's like,
yeah. I guess like getting like a economically like stable job is like something that like at least like all my peers, like everybody I've like seen in school, they all want like something that would give them like a stable like life.
right. But is that what you want? Because you told me that like dreams first.
I would say just in case maybe, but otherwise I guess not really actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Like so I'll tell you one thing, Mark. To me, it seems like you do care about what other people think, right? So like that's something to realize with yourself because if your goal, right? So let's say you're being honest. Your goal is to like accomplish your dreams first. You don't really care about the money. But then there's a contradiction. So we're doing a little recap. There's a contradiction where what we talked about previously is you do want to go to college because it would help you develop your skills, which, by the way, here we are online. So like number one, if your goal is to like interact with people, you have a larger quality of groups of people online. So you can find better people online, like the conversations we're having right now. And then secondly, you said you want to go to college because it gives you a secure, stable job because everyone else is doing it. So you tell me with that information how it feels for you, like how all that information is being interpreted in your head right now.
Um, First of all, I don't think I would like go back on what I said about like a stable job because
Yeah,
like money isn't like permanent. Like I feel like over time,
you're
if I
correct.
like do adopt like, a family and something, I would have to like find a way to like still earn money to like provide for my family because I can't just like ride on the money that I currently have
Of course.
like forever. I would say like my family's like middle class, like not upper class.
Yeah, of course.
And second of all, I feel like you're kind of right about like the like how virtually you have like a bigger audience, higher quality people to like talk to and meet. But like also at the same time, I feel like I don't know, this is like more like of a question to you, but
Yeah, go ahead.
I've never like done YouTube before. So
Yeah.
I don't know like how hard it is for somebody to like establish like an audience and then like
Yeah.
grow it from basically like zero. Yeah.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. You did sports, so you know that talent doesn't just apply to like physical activities. There's some people who are just more talented academically, and the same thing applies to everything in life, like YouTube or like super niche specific skills. And with YouTube, it's isolating at first, okay? I think you have to realize this isn't just about YouTube, but applies to everything, okay? People starting businesses, people actually having their own goal. You'll realize your goal doesn't align with anyone in the real world. Like no one has the exact same goal. This is why I talked about like how you exist by yourself first because no one actually has the goal of being a doctor. It's more complicated than just being a doctor. It could be because they want to actually save and help people, but then it gets even more specific with who they are, what type of people, why do they want to help those people. It could be something related towards like, their childhood, very specific goals, right? That is at the surface seen as just a doctor. But once you surround yourself with people with the same goals, you kind of realize we don't have the same goal. So everything is by yourself. And you asked me the question about YouTube, extremely isolating. So for example, let's say you spend 12 hours on some code, you have to find a way, or even it has to be something you actually give a fuck about. Because when you post that video, you write that line of code for no one but yourself, it's very isolating, right? Because realistically, I'm here doing all this by myself, right? And it's like for years or even like months, you're making videos, you get like 10 views, 20, 30, 40, 50. And that was me for years, right? And that's like something I kept on doing because I had enough resilience and realized where I want to go in life to do that. You can ask me as much questions as you want. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So like growing your own like audience, it took like a lot of time then.
Yeah, 100%.
Do
I'll
you
oh, go ahead.
I don't think there's like a way to say if it's like more like worth it or not because like going to like college and like doing YouTube and like social media is like two completely like different things. Like you can't like apply like which one's like more worth it. But like personally, do you feel like you benefited like a lot from like creating your like YouTube account?
What do you mean? So you mentioned college and like if I benefit from creating the YouTube.
Yeah. Do you think like it outweighed like the possibilities like of like the things that you could have gotten from going to college?
Yeah, yeah. So this is what I talked about with the logical framework. You have to think of the worst and best case scenario, right? And this is the problem with some, based on environment. You can't see what is actually possible without either doing it yourself or having other people done it. And it's very easy when you're making your own decisions to be tricked by other people and them.
Oh yeah, I just did it again. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like
100%.
that.
Like, because here's the thing, like people are not used to that. And I'll tell you one thing, okay? I have a cousin, so I did a podcast with him. And how old are you, by the way? Like 16, 17?
Yes, 16.
Okay. Can you imagine at you at 19 years old paying $164,000 in taxes?
No.
Right. So I have a cousin who did exactly that, right? He became very successful very quickly. But remember, for him, it took months to even get to that level. And that itself, like very fast, very quick. And remember, that also applies not just in business, in anything in life, but also like in love, in relationships. Things happen very quickly if you're willing to let it come to you. And I mention all of this because for him, if he listened to what other people say, he asked me like, oh, he didn't ask me. He told me he dropped out of college and I was in high school at the time. I thought that was stupid. His parents said that was stupid. Everyone thinking that was a bad idea. And nonetheless, he had enough courage and resilience and self-awareness to realize that's what other people want him to do, but that's not what they actually want him to do, right? They just want him to concede and listen to other people. But he knew what he wanted to do, so it helped him make decisions faster than most. And for me, slower decision guy, where I went to community college because never interested in college, right? I was always good at school. I had a lot of extracurriculars. I even did band. I did a lot of stuff that would look good for colleges, but I never applied to them because deep down I knew that's not what I wanted. And I was in community. I graduated community because for me, it made sense where they paid me money to go to college. So I kept on going. So instead of working at a job, I show up to college, very smart in terms of academics. I was a tutor, so college tutor, then private tutor, where parents would pay for me to talk to people your age for like $250 an hour. And with that, I realized that's not what I want. So after I moved to a university, I realized, okay, I'm paying for college this time. That no longer makes sense. So I have to pick up a job. It doesn't make sense because the only reason why I went to college was because it paid me so I could have more time working on my YouTube, right? But after the financial no longer made sense, I dropped out. So like,
Yeah, I see.
yeah. Any more questions? Like,
Wait.
what did you want to know?
Then
How would that help
why,
you?
wait, why did you like quit your like private tutor job then? If it like gave you like $250 an hour?
No, dude. If they paid me $250 an hour, like holy shit, that itself would have been like a good trap to be stuck in, right? No, they would charge the parents $250 an hour, but like I get a very small cut of that money.
Oh, you get a small cut. I see.
Yeah. I wish. I wish, bro. I wish.
Yeah, it didn't make like a lot of sense to me.
No,
But now I see.
no, but like here's the thing, Mark. Like really expand your view. Like you can go as far as you can imagine. Like realistically, okay? So I'll give you an example. When I did go to university, I was talking to some kid and he was bragging to me about how much money he made, and he was like a server. He like pretty much served at a high-end restaurant, and that's like a good method to make money at our age where you could work at Chili's where people will tip you Chili's amount of tips, or you could get the same job doing the same thing at a way higher end restaurant with higher end like customers. So they'll just give you a higher tip based on it, right? So he made a good amount of money. I have no clue. Let's say like at most you make $200 a day. I was like, that's a lot. If you really add it up, that'd be close to like six figures or whatever it is, right? It's a lot of money. And I told my cousin that, the rich one. He was laughing. He's like, oh, he was laughing because to me, in my head, that's a lot of money too. But he was laughing because he was like, people are so small-minded. That's not a lot of money. And think about it, 19 years old, 160,000, not profits or like take home, but in taxes. He's 23 now. So he's like at a different level.
Damn, so he was like hella young, and then he somehow like got like a crap ton of money. He still has to like pay taxes yet.
Yeah, so I'll post it, but we also had a conversation about his life is very chill, right? We talk about how he doesn't really do much day to day, and people forget you get to choose how difficult your life is, right? So he chose a very easy life, but he chose the hard decisions. So for example, I'll tell you what he does every day. Wakes up 12 p.m., walks around the beach, gets an iced coffee, He does that for like 2, 3 hours. Afterwards, drinking the iced coffee, maybe eats a little bit of food. It's a pre-workout meal. He goes to the gym. This is real. He likes to go to the gym for 3 to 4 hours, right? So this is like his day. So it's already like nighttime by then. Comes back, does a little bit of work on the laptop, 2 to 3 hours, smokes weed, watches like a podcast, ends the night, right? So like breaking perspectives. A lot of people believe you have to work extremely difficult, and you can. He knows what he wants, right? And he's not forcing his lifestyle onto other people. He's just aware of what he wants. And the biggest thing I think you should get out of this is realize, number one, who are the people trying to influence you, or how are you being influenced socially, right? What do your friends think? Is that beneficial for me to think the same way? What is your parents, the teachers, the people who come in that tell you to go to college? You could. Nothing wrong with it. I actually don't hate it. He thinks college is a scam. Like, it completely depends. If you want to be a doctor, obviously go to college. But your goal is to be a game dev. You can be a game dev right now, right? There are, by the way, more perspective that will like expand. There's a person who joined the live stream. He gave me like $200 because he wanted me to listen to a Juice WRLD song, just like an unreleased Juice WRLD song. I was like, what the fuck? Send me the money. He was being for real. Listened to it. Got his Discord. Talked to him on the Discord live, and he's like 16, 17. He makes a lot of money, like millions. He sent me like a Bitcoin wallet. It was like $5 million in there, right? Your age. And what does he do? He literally does game dev. He does Roblox video games.
I see.
Right. So like you can start right now. But here's the thing. A lot of people build their own constrictions because that's what the world wants you to do. Like in your own head. They want you to build your own constrictions where, well, I need to go to college because I need to go to college because I need the right friends, because with the right friends, they're going to help me accomplish my goal. So they've like literally written a path for you to go, and you think you're making those decisions, right? And you just have to realize what is real and what is fake.
Yeah, so you're saying like if you restrict like if you like close your mind, you think like this is like the only path, or if you like don't dream like big enough, then you have a lower chance, or you won't like exceed your expectations.
So dreaming big is important. Dreaming big is important. Say that again.
Like if you dream big, or if if you dream small, and if you restrict like your mind down to like one path, like going to college, get a job, and like that, then you're not gonna like exceed your expectations and achieve something that's like larger.
Yeah. So think about it like this. Everyone dreams big, right? Everyone is living today not wanting to like be the last guy at that race. Even though there will be a last guy at the race, or second, third, last, fourth, in the middle. Everyone's dreaming of first place. Everyone's doing it for first place. Even though they say they don't want to end up first place, they're all doing it for acclaim, all that kind of stuff. And you have to realize when you're sleeping, most of the time you don't control your dreams. Lucid dreaming, right? Like that's a skill you need to develop. Now, here's the truth. Lucid dreaming is not like an actual skill worth developing, but I'm talking about living in real life. A lot of people are dreaming in their day-to-day. They're not conscious. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So like they dream too much and they don't like take action.
No, as in they're in autopilot. They don't exist for themselves, they exist for others. So let's say you work at Amazon. Your existence at Amazon is not for yourself, it's for the company, it's for the entity, right? And because they don't realize this, they're working for others and they're not working for their own goal. So autopilot, as in when you dream, you don't really have control over your dreams. Just like how many people believe like in the dream, like you can realize you're doing things, people are realizing they're doing things, but they don't actually know that everything is not in their control. Just like how dreams can get out of hand, right?
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yes. That's the general idea. And speaking of which, is there anything else you want to ask about the college?
Honestly, I don't have that much knowledge about like college like overall. Like I don't even like really know how to apply to one. I know like you apply for like Common App, you got like write a
Hey,
few
yeah, yeah. The
essays.
specifics don't matter. It really doesn't. The specifics doesn't really
Yeah,
matter.
but I've been like I feel like I haven't like gone to like know like what college like the experience like what it brings like enough yet to like fully like make my judgment yet. But
Right, but like you'll
like what you
never
said earlier,
but Mark, you'll never have enough like judgment or experience to make the right
yeah,
decision ever.
and I think I've like also like realized that too. So like what you like just said, like throughout this call, it's like it's definitely made me think a lot about what I should do in the future. Should I actually like go to college or not? But
So
I'm
here's
still
the
not
thing.
sure. But
Yeah, yeah. So like here's the thing. It's fine, right? Like everyone's thinking about like going to college, not going to college at your age. Many people are in college, and I talked to them when I was. They're talking about like majors they're completely oblivious about. Like realistically, I wasn't in marketing, right? So like, I have a TikTok account. I make like pizza videos for my parents. That brings them in a few $1,000s extra a month, and that itself is like enough for a good resume at some generic marketing job. Like, like think about this, and I have no degree, and there are people that were in college. I asked them with their marketing degree that I didn't even have. Okay, cool. You have any experience in marketing? Obviously not. Like they would say no because they don't actually care about it, right? So to them, I would beat them in every situation in terms of like video editing and like in terms of like very niche specific skills, which actually doesn't matter. It's just more of like the grand idea. It's a one-on-one thing, like yourself, one-on-one with yourself to develop those skills. So like most of the time, it doesn't matter to even like discuss about them. It's more of like the grand things with people. That's what I like to do at the very least. And excuse me, what was your question?
um, it wasn't really a question. I was like asking about. I was like saying how like earlier I don't have like enough experience, but like in the end I'll still like never have enough experience to like make my judgment. So
Right.
I shouldn't like worry about like how much like experience I have.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. So I think we'll definitely put a pin on the college thing. I think that's something you need to decide for yourself. Secondly, what's up with the girl situation? Because you said you wanted to talk about that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like one big issue that I've already like said before. Is that like we don't have any like classes together.
Yeah.
Like I really like vibe with her. I feel like she might vibe with me too, but there's like no like real way for me to like get into contact with her
Right.
in person without like texting.
Right. So I mean, realistically, you already know what to do, right? Like so
Yeah.
this is a problem. Okay, so like what you need to do is like spend more time to even know if you actually fuck with her and if she actually fucks with you, right? A lot of people are very weird about it where they try to force things, especially when it doesn't work out. But the bottleneck right now is like time spent. And here's another bottleneck. So you told me you guys known each other since like elementary, but you guys aren't close, so that's good. Because what I mean is, I was talking to another YouTuber. Like he made a mistake where a lot of guys do, where they try to spend more time with the girl, and then they're just friends, right? Because they're a little bit too pussy or high inhibition. There's many ways to describe what I'm saying, but he was too high inhibition where he took too much time thinking and deliberating on what to do that nothing ever happened. He was too slow. He was too scared, and she only thought of him as a friend. So like very importantly, you also need to communicate what you're like actually looking for because you don't want to end up in the friend zone. And there's a lot of ways to do it. But yeah.
Yeah. There's this like one thing that I have like on my mind like sometimes like when you're saying like don't take it too slow, but at the same time I don't want to take it too fast
All
because
good.
like I've had this experience once where this girl was like into me, but like she did it like way too fast that she was like being like too weird
Yeah, yeah,
and too stunning. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah,
like
yeah,
I just like never wanted to like talk to her like again
yeah.
ever.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Like
mean,
that's like one thing. I projected like her own insecurity like onto me.
yeah,
Like I
yeah.
don't want to like ever do things like too fast.
Yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing. A lot of things can be true at the same time, right? I think you also, I only said that just to help you, like, sometimes I'm a bit extreme, so like the points get lost in the extremeness, but it's like to have the message come across and people take it a little bit literally. So my mistake, but like fast in the context of like not forcing it, right? But it's to help you paint the context that things can happen fast, right? You don't have to deliberately go slow. Like if there's a literal playbook for yourself that I'm going to make it slow, there's like it's more of let it happen naturally, right? Because I guarantee you, the cousin that succeeded in his head, he wasn't okay. I have to make this work in 1 year. I have to do this now. I have to do it as fast as possible. It didn't happen like that, right? It was open for everything. Does that make sense? Where there was nothing forced with his lifestyle. Just like how you can't be forcing like specific dates because all that does is like put all your eggs in one basket. What happens if you miss a tournament? What happens if she already gets asked out first? There's a lot of probabilities. And if you're trying to force so many things for like this month-long detailed plan, it's just not gonna work out.
Yeah, I feel like that's like somewhat of like a strength and like a weakness at the same time. Because like myself, I don't like really like to plan out that much. Like the tournament plan, I low-key kind of just like made it up on the fly while like talking to you.
This guy, okay.
I like to like do things like on the like as it happens, right? Yeah.
Yes, yes. But like, Mark, let's be real. The whole tournament plan was in your head for like a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So like no shame in game. This is what I've noticed, right? I'd say I'm pretty good at like recognizing character, Mark. You're a thinker. Like you think before you act. Like this entire conversation, you wanted to talk to me just because you haven't done things yet and you want like a second opinion. Like that's like a strong reinforcement in like how you decide, like getting a second opinion. And I'll tell you one thing. It's a bad thing. Because imagine this, you come across, because it leaves all your decisions up to chance. And you don't develop the skill of like critical thinking for yourself. Because imagine, maybe I'm that guy right now. You have a conversation with someone who is very charismatic, but they're telling you all of the wrong things. And just because they have that one skill where they're very charismatic and they're convincing, they have influenced you into doing something you might not actually want to do. And right now, it's not best to listen to other people. It's best to develop that voice in your head of what you actually should do. And you'll probably get it wrong, but that's the point. You're supposed to get better at it over time, right? And I was going to say something about girls. I forgot about it. Go ahead, Mark.
Oh yeah, I feel like what you said is like honestly like true too. Like in the past, I've been like I don't really remember, but I could definitely like pull up something like with time that like I've been like influenced by like somebody else to like do something that I didn't want to be. Is like I asked for like a second opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely gotta be like more forward, like be a little bit more like stupider, like do things without thinking. You know?
Yeah, so we can get very intricate. I love that you mentioned that. It's not like being more stupid. I'll tell you one thing, okay? Life is very simple, all right? People like to overcomplicate it just because they want like explanations for everything. They want understandings for everything. But think of it like this, okay, Mark? Raise your hand right now. Boom. Boom, you raised your hand, right? Now, put it down and intend to raise your hand. No, excuse me, not intend. Think about wanting to raise your hand. All right, I'm thinking about it, but I'm not actually doing it. And like that's a mistake people make. There's the question of, I'm 16, I'm 21, I'm 30 years old, I'm 40, but how could someone be so ahead of me in life? Right? Like, how is that actually possible? And a big thing people jump on is they use the excuse of genetics, they use the excuse of nature. So nature versus nurture, they use environment, they use genetics. It's because they were born rich. It's because they have a bigger brain. It's because of X, Y, and Z. And it plays a role, don't get me wrong. But everyone has their own advantage, like 100%, right? I cannot be Mark. Like I literally, if I tried my very best to replicate you and your lifestyle, I would fail And the same thing applies to everyone else listening, to you, to me, and like you're the best at being yourself. And I mean all of this because there are people who are of the same age that are better, and that's only because they realize it's not about thinking, right? Thinking of doing things, it's like just doing it. Just like how I raise my hand, I don't think of raising my hand. You don't think of grabbing the remote, you just grab it. But some people sitting on the couch, they're too lazy to grab the remote. So they're like thinking really hard, really want that fucking remote, but they'll never get it because that's all they're doing. They're just thinking about it, but it's just doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's like definitely happened to me before. Like sometimes I think like I'm gonna like go out for like a run today, and then I'm gonna be thinking like I'm gonna do it like 2 hours from now. I just kind of like forget, and I just like don't do it later on. Yeah.
Yeah. And here's the thing, right? Nothing wrong with being prepared. I think that's a very easy mistake to have. There's nothing wrong with being prepared, but being prepared is not like the planning stages. It's what you do today. So like that should make a lot more sense because you can prepare for a test. I normally would study last minute and like get A's, but like that's not because I am unprepared. It's because I developed the skill of like knowing how to study extremely efficiently and like what works best with my brain because my study method is entirely different to everyone else's. So it's like preparedness is what you do today. So there will be an opportunity down the line where something comes up, maybe you and the girl, maybe you in college, maybe you in game dev, and how prepared you are is not like how you prepared the month, the week, the year before. It's like what you do right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. So nothing wrong with being prepared, but over planning is honestly good, but it's like not a sign of like something good's going to happen. So with the girl, more of maybe if you see her, they actually go out of your way to talk to her, right? I think that is much more charismatic, and obviously this is like my own input, so I could be wrong, but it's much more charismatic than like trying to plan something where things naturally align. Where oh my god, you're playing tennis too. Let's play like doubles. And plus, realistically, we do doubles. It's you're fucking hitting a tennis racket from like the other side of the court, unless you guys are like playing up close and you're having a conversation. I feel like your double partner would be pissed. Like, why is this guy trying to rizz up a girl?
Like, wait, what do you mean by that? Like, I'm gonna be playing like against her?
I don't know. What was in your head? Were you playing with her, against her?
Yeah, like with her. Because I don't know if you know, but you said you've played tennis before.
Yeah.
In
High school.
States, I think, yeah. In States, there's like this like mixed doubles thing where you play with like a girl instead of like a guy, and then you add to like your state's championship that way.
Oh no, dude, no, mine's different. At my school, it was like boy is like a complete separate gender thing, and the seasons and dates are like at different times. So like boys would be at the beginning of the school year, and then girls is at the end of the school year.
Oh, ours is at like the same time.
Yeah.
And then I feel like this I didn't come up with like this doubles thing like myself either because
Yeah.
it's kind of the one who asked me first, like a few like weeks ago.
She asked you
didn't, like,
first?
implicitly say, oh, yeah.
Oh, nice. So give me the rundown. Give me the rundown. We're past the time, but like it's just fun and interesting. Give me the rundown.
But she was like talking about how I should like play in states, and she was like trying to convince me to do it. And there's like a couple of like other reasons why, but I thought she was like trying to like get me to play in states with her.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I'm not you, right? I have no clue. That to me, that sounds like a good sign, but you know, I literally have no idea. A lot of guys like misinterpret things like very easily. To me, it's a good sign. So I mean, the only way to know is like to actually do, not like analyze. Her eyeballs twitched that 1 second, so that must mean she likes me. You know what I mean? Like instead, I think it's very simple. Okay, I think it's very simple when it comes to deciding if she does like you. Just ask her, "Do you want to play with me?" That's it. Like, would you like to play with me for doubles for like the tournament? And then if she says yes, if she says no, depending on how her reaction looks like. Even if she says no, like what's her reaction? It depends a lot. It depends a lot, and it's like up to your own interpretation.
Yeah, I feel like you're right though. Like I have to like be a lot more forward because like beforehand I was like planning, I was like thinking a lot more instead of like actually like talking to her like that much.
Yeah, yeah, bro. Raise your hand, man. Like don't think about talking to them. Like, do it. Right? It's like it's easy to say, but it just requires courage. And people want things to come easy, but like the definition of courage is pretty much like to do things like even when you're afraid. Right? And like the only time you get better at being courageous is just doing more courageous things over and over again. So it's never easy, especially if you want it.
Yeah, you know it's true, bro. Like tomorrow I'm gonna try and find her and then like talk to her a
Yes,
bit about like
yes. Like here's the thing, bro. Like maybe you're better with people. Maybe you're better with like just by yourself. Like figure that out yourself. Maybe like group up your boys. It'd be a fun little thing for like I don't know recess or like lunch or some shit where you guys like trying to find her. Right? Like that could be a fun little thing where you get all of your friends to like also speed up the process. Maybe you are alone. Maybe you want to think by yourself. You don't want a crowd watching you. It's like I give you the grand ideas, but like the minute specific details is all up to you.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like also like on a lot of like what you said like earlier about like making like your own decisions. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%, right? Like a mentor will help you in the grand ideas, but they're not going to like fucking cook for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Very fun conversation. Any questions or like, is there anything else you want to talk about?
Wait, how many years did you go to college for?
Like two and a half. Yeah, it was
And
very.
then, you know,
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't really know what college is like, but was it like really like class like oriented? Like you wake up, go to class, like go back, like maybe go to like the gym and then like, go
So
back
so
again.
so here's the thing. If you're having, are you having a hard time, like okay time or like easy time at high school?
Like right now, I'd say like most of my like grades are fine. I have like a couple of B's, but those are like in my harder class as well.
Yeah,
But like waking up, I hate like waking up early, and
yeah,
then like also like workload too.
yeah.
I feel like a lot of my like teachers like are on something because I don't know how they like expect like some of us to like do like all this like homework in like a
Well,
couple of
well.
days.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. All right. They don't. They don't expect you because realistically, many of the teachers like just keep on giving a lot of work, so they think they're good teachers, and there are students who like myself who finagled their way through the system. Right. They figured out a way to not do the work. Many ways. Now there's AI. There's a bunch of ways to get it done, like without actually doing it, and you also have to like realize. Are you taking like a push like or AP US history, like world history, like you're taking a bunch of classes that doesn't actually help with game dev. Like genuinely think about that. It's scary. You're seen as a bad person for not doing the schoolwork. So for example, there's many methods you can use AI. I was much more like, okay, I have this homework. I know people. I ask this guy for homework. He'll give me the homework. And then I know this other guy. I'll give him the homework as well. Then the other guy's going to ask me for homework. Ask the other guy that I gave homework to. He gives me my homework. And then I'm like a trader of homework, right? Or you have to do it by yourself. Nothing to do with that. Like sometimes you have to do it by yourself. Okay. What I'm saying is when I went to community, you can even do it in like university. There are online courses and most of the classes you take will not be a requirement or like a secondary class where you need to know the previous information. So I would just cheat on it. It's that simple, right? And the question is, well, Rambo, what happens when it's time to actually take the test? Well, I'm not saying anyone else should do this, but I'm just really good at studying. So when it's time to take a test, I always ace it. I'm just that guy. So for example, at least in community, there was an English course, right? This is where AI is coming in. So for all the essays, I'm just using AI for all of them. And when it's time to take the test or the written exam, you're supposed to write it in person. Oh shit. Oh no, I never had enough experience to actually succeed in this. But no, I'm just a person who consumes a lot of literature, reading. So when it is time to do the work or take the exam, I get a good score. And then boom, I end the semester with an A. right? So it's just like realizing where your strengths are. So I mean this because you get to choose. You get to choose how difficult school is.
Yeah, I see, but I'm like I'm somewhat like scared to use like AI on like some of like the higher like or like regulated like assignments because like in the past like last year I got caught for using AI, like flagged my essay as like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
70% AI,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it was like a rookie class too for like AP like exams. It was seminar,
Yeah. So
and it kind of like made me good at it.
well, did you use like a AI paraphraser?
But yeah, and then they still somehow got me. So
Right, a paid one or a free one?
it was GPT zero.
I don't know what that is. But did you pay for it or?
No, it was free. I found it online. I tweaked
Yeah.
it a bit too, but
Yeah.
honestly, I don't even know.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I'm not in school, but there's like many creative ways like to get around it realistically because there's many students who get flagged for AI when they don't do it. So what's their argument? Maybe you try to do like a social play because like realistically, if you're gonna take a risk, most of the time, like if you're gonna take a jump, most of the time you're gonna fall, right? So me using AI, have I been caught? Yes. Did I get in trouble? No, because it's just like it depends on like how you execute. But by the way, I'm not like a component or someone who promotes cheating, but you have to realize what is valuable. Like, what do you value? If you value a good grade, but you also value your time, you'll have to realize that like if I'm spending multiple hours a day on classes I don't care about and my goal is game dev, then that's a waste of time. That's how those kids that make Roblox video games are millionaires. It's because they realize they don't actually care about like the social pressures of getting good grades from your parents, the social pressures and expectations of what the teachers want from you. And if you want to play the social game, then like do it, but just realize the consequences that come with it, which is at the expense of your own goals. And if you're going to cheat, also realize the consequences of cheating, right? You have to be prepared for the consequences and the rewards. That's why like the logical framework, best case scenario, think of the worst case scenario. People think either one or the other too much. Think of it one time. Like think of the best case scenario one time, worst case scenario one time, and then you're just thinking about like what to do in the future. Future as in one day, a few hours from now.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, and by the way,
don't
I didn't come up
know.
with that. I stole that from a book, Reality Transurfing. So I give credits to where it's due.
One final question. Do you feel like reading like books is like good for you? Like
Yeah,
honestly, I don't like read that many like self-improving books. I think I
yeah.
like read one like way back then, but like that's it. I mainly like read like books that I like find like from like YouTube videos online or like recommended from like ChatGPT.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. I made a video about like books. It's like reading self-improvement books is gay or something. I recommend you watch that. I'd also like recommend watching like a Patreon videos about skill development. But in short, yes and no, right? Don't read books that are not worthy of your time. So this is like a mistake people do. I mentioned it in like everything I say. People read books for the sake of saying I read books, right? People say, oh, how many books did you read this year? How many books did you read this month? That's a social thing, right? People are trying to socially please other people. Oh, I'm so fucking smart. Oh, I have such a good grade. Doesn't matter, right? You have to realize that. So I'll save you like a lot of time. The cheat code is that you pick up books where you know the exact problem you want to solve, right? And people are too scared to think of what their actual problems are, so they never start. But everyone has a problem today. We came across a problem today, and your intention is to find a way to solve it as fast as possible. So you should do things by yourself, but it's our first time living, okay? People have lived longer, more wise lives than us, and they have most likely treaded a very similar path with relationships, with college decisions. And you look at those people, those mentors to help you. So another thing people discuss about, I don't have a mentor, but there's literally an infinite amount of mentors and teachers online. And they choose to watch like Fortnite edited montage videos. That like, am I making sense? I'm dropping a lot of information because we're about to end this.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there. There's like a lot of kids that do that in my school.
Yeah, but 100% definitely read books, right? I don't get to where I am right now, or like anyone who is successful that will not attribute a book to their success. Like, I literally cannot think of one where they don't recommend a book that helped them. Like in sports, in business, they all recommend something where they learn from someone else. And it's not someone they know, just from a page. And I'd say I watch YouTube summaries, I read the books. Books, physical books, are a lot more better for me to retain the information and actually learn from it rather than watching a YouTube video, because it engages a different part of your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Mark, this is a good conversation. Is there anything you want to say before I end the call? Is there any like last pieces of like advice or information you want to know before we end this?
Not really, but wait, are you live streaming this right now?
Yeah. We're live, bro.
Yo, a message to everybody in the chat, bro. Subscribe to Rambo right now.
Yo, shout out to Mark, man. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, guys, subscribe. So people don't know, this is a Patreon subscriber. And like, again, remember I used to do private tutoring for $250 an hour. It's like 15 just because I want to like get the foot in the door. So I'm really undercutting myself. Other than that, it was a great conversation, Mark. I hope you get a lot out of this. And it's not decided. I'm considering for the Patreon, if you're still subscribed, we can do like another recap or like touch up in a month. I'm not sure. Is this something you're interested in?
I guess it kind of depends.
Yeah,
I probably would still do it. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how things go, right? I'm not gonna force things too much. Other than that, Mark, shout to you, man. You seem like a very cool guy. You have a good head on your shoulder. Yeah, I hope you have a good one.
Yeah, have a good night.
Yes, you too, Mark. Peace out. All right, bye-bye. Well. Let me turn on the cam. Where is this? Great combo, even though I went to sleep for 90% of it. Thank you, Potato Lover, my weirdly glazing. Okay, cool. So that was a conversation. Yo, it's weird, right? It's weird. It never happens in the live streams, but there was a lot of hecklers this time. Zame says, what do you think about the new Sam made? Oh, shit. What do you think about the new video Sam made of Hamza? I didn't watch it. By the way, I usually try to preach what I talk about, so I really don't keep up with drama, all right? I only delve deep into it for the sake of a video. I just joined, and are you on a treadmill right now? I am. I'm working on a video, how to get like millions of steps, literally millions. I walked millions of steps in the span of like a month. So that's on the way. That's going to be very fun. No, he's on bench press. Yes. Yeah. Oh, by the way, banned a few people. Bunch of hecklers. That it weirdly happens when like they see you doing things that they don't want you to be doing. Right? Where it's like, bro, keep up the grind. Thank you, man. It is always a grind. But yeah, that was a conversation with someone for the Patreon. If you guys liked it, enjoyed it, or even want to be a part of it, join the fucking Patreon. Right? Right when I have the stream, they appear. Yes, when you leave, they appear. What do you mean, hecklers? I don't remember because I banned them. I don't remember because I banned them. But there was a guy who was like trying to rebuke my credibility. It was like, oh, why are you giving advice? Here's the thing. A homeless man can give me advice. And if the homeless man is giving good advice, they'll just listen to it, right? The person who's just hating to hate, and they don't even know that I literally did this for a job. So that's why it was so productive. That's why it was so good. That's why I got to the core of who he is as a person in the span, by the way, of 1 fucking hour. I guarantee you, no one of literally this level or skill where they can analyze that his decision making comes from asking for a second opinion. No one could actually jump to that conclusion as fast as I did in the span of a fucking hour. So I worked at a high level, professional level, where I need to sign an NDA and everything, but I also was a college tutor. So yes, qualified or whatever the fuck, but it doesn't even matter, right? You don't need to be qualified to do anything. Like, oh, where's your qualifications for game dev? They said to the 16-year-old millionaire.